Okay, so actually there's something I gotta do before this video starts. Yeah. Okay, I got 2 packages. I've been sitting on this top one for probably about a week and a half now, and I've just been too busy to open it because I wanted to open it on camera. So I guess, you know, we're gonna do that real quick because I know it's in here, and I gotta give a shout out to my boys over at the Cast Crew. So probably not the best idea opening it with a knife, but you know, whatever. Hell yeah, dude. Official Cast Crew gear, dude. You're gonna see, you know what? Hold on. The second one, I don't quite remember what it is, so. Oh, yeah, that's right, okay. It's not even fishing related. Okay, you ready? Wait, just wait for it, ready? Here we go. This thing looks sick. Look at it. Look at that. That's pretty sick, dude. I like the way this thing feels. Shout out to the Cast Crew. They ran a sale. I put it on my Instagram, so if you didn't see it, it's over now, but they had a Black Friday sale, 60% off of everything on the store, which is why I had to go and pick. Look at it! Okay, I got one more though. Hold on now. Look at it. I'm not gonna put this one on just because I already put this on, but you will be seeing me wearing this merch in future videos. Also, if you like it and you're interested in picking some up, I will link it at the very top of the description. Check out the Cast Crew website and pick up some of this sick merch. It looks good. Matches the hat, which, you know, it's also Cast Crew. If you guys didn't know, that's Cast Crew. That's what I rep. All right, let's get on to what today's video is about, which is different types of fishing line. What should you use, why you should use it, and when it excels. So let's dive back down to the table and we'll start talking about it. Okay. There are 3 main types. The first that everybody knows, everybody starts off with is well, it's monofilament. It's a translucent line. It's got some stretch to it. It floats on the top of the water. I will get back to that in a second. And it's got some pretty good knot strength. Now, like I said, everybody kind of starts off with this, and I do know people that still use monofilament, and there's nothing wrong with monofilament. Where I would still be, and I'm talking as a bass fisherman, where I would still be using the monofilament is if I'm throwing topwater. When I say topwater, I mean topwater with treble hooks, not frogs. Stuff like spooks, poppers, hell, even with some wake baits. And the reason that is because if you throw, for example, a spook with braid, and that fish doesn't necessarily get hooked properly, then it's gonna rip it out of its mouth because of the lack of a good hook set. So what that monofilament does is it stretches a little bit, which allows the fish to get those hooks deeper and allows it to get a better hook set, basically. But that's literally the only time when I'm bass fishing that I will use monofilament anymore. Now, fluorocarbon, it's still got some stretch, but it does not have as much stretch as the monofilament does. But the main advantage of fluorocarbon is that it is really, really sensitive. It's a lot more sensitive than monofilament, which is why I use it for pretty much everything that I throw. Crankbaits, I'll use monofilament on crankbaits sometimes, but I usually use fluorocarbon on crankbaits, jigs, pretty much everything except for, you know, topwater frogs and spooks. Another really good thing about fluorocarbon is that it is highly abrasion resistant. It's still translucent like the monofilament, but this is going to be able to rub up on rocks or a piece of metal down there and not get nicked up as easy as monofilament would. Pretty much all of my bait casters except for 3 have fluorocarbon on it. I've got 2 with braid, and then I got 1 with monofilament. I know a lot of people that like to throw just braid and only braid. The downside though, the real downside of fluorocarbon like this, any fluorocarbon that is that it is a lot more expensive than monofilament is. So the sensitivity and the abrasion resistance and the good knot strength really make up for the price. So moving on, next up last I should say, but not least, we've got braid. As the name suggests, it is a thin strand of braided fibers basically. They go anywhere from 5 strand to 9 strand. I'm sure they've got some crazy stuff in Japan that's even higher than that. But your typical braid's gonna be like that 8 strand braid. So 8 weaves, or I'm sorry, 8 strands woven together. Now the advantage of braid is that it has 0 stretch. So if you're fishing and you set the hook, it's getting all of your power basically. There's no stretch to kind of dampen, to kind of act as a spring, if you will. It's getting 100% power and you get good hook sets. It's also very sensitive. And I know I have friends that throw braid and only braid, and that's just the way they fish. I don't do that because I think there's just situations where the fluorocarbon is going to be a lot better than braid. You know, to each his own. One of those situations, let me just say, is if you've got really clear water, you don't want to throw braid, because braid is not translucent. You can't really make a strand of fiber see-through. So that is a downside if you're fishing up north, especially here where we've got a lot of clear water. The fish are gonna see that, and fish do get line side, and you can probably see that right there. But people down in Texas where they got muddy water, they throw braid a lot and almost all the time, because that muddy water, the fish can't see the braid, so it doesn't matter. Typically, you know, just rounding this all up, typically I would say if you're a beginner, start with monofilament and then play around with the different lines and see which ones you like best, honestly. If you're catching fish on it, don't change it, it works. My favorite line is fluorocarbon. I've just had the most luck on it. But don't get me wrong, you know, braid and monofilament have their times and places as well. Alright, well, that's pretty much it. This is a quick video. It's kind of like an informational video, just because I can't get out and fish because it's freezing cold outside and we don't have ice, which sucks. So we're just sitting inside, literally trying to find anything to do. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you learned something, leave that like. If you like what you saw, leave a like. If you're new here, subscribe to join the family. Check out the very top of the description for the Cast Crew merch. Right under that's gonna be my merch. Yes, I plugged 2 different merches in one video because I'm a savage. I'll also leave what I think and what is my favorite fluorocarbon down below as well, so you guys can check them out. I'll catch you guys later. It's been a minute since I've uploaded, but you know, hey, I'm here. Catch you guys very soon on the next episode of Southside Fishing. Thank you so much for watching. I'm out of here.